Hey United fans, welcome back to United Focus, your home for all the latest Manchester United updates, transfer drama, breaking news, and everything happening around Old Trafford as the summer window edges closer and closer. One of the biggest names linked right now is Newcastle midfielder Sandro Tonali. Reports from Italy claim Newcastle may be forced into a painful decision after failing to secure Champions League football, with financial fair play concerns potentially forcing them to sacrifice one of their biggest stars. Sandro Tonali. Newcastle have put him up for sale. The Italian outlet Corriere della Sera reports he will be sacrificed this summer as Newcastle balance their books without Champions League football. €100 million is the asking price, a number that rules out Italian clubs, but that Manchester City and Manchester United are described as the most likely destinations. Two clubs, one player, both needing midfield transformation, both with the budget to make it happen. Anthony Gordon is already heading to Bayern Munich, having agreed personal terms. Newcastle losing both Gordon and Tonali in the same window would be a dramatic squad deterioration, but their financial situation after missing Champions League qualification has forced exactly these kinds of difficult decisions. Tonali at 25 is one of the most technically accomplished midfielders in the Premier League. His combination of defensive intelligence, pressing intensity, and technical quality in tight spaces making him the specific profile both City and United are chasing. The difference is United need him more urgently, given Casemiro's departure leaves a specific void that Tonali would fill more naturally than almost any other available player. At the same time, United continue pushing hard for Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson. The Nottingham Forest boss, Vitor Pereira, said everything can happen when asked directly if Anderson would be sold this summer. He praised the player's talent extensively, acknowledged the market is the market, said the club wants to keep him, but pointedly did not say he would be staying. That specific combination of public praise and private inevitability is the language of a manager preparing his fan base for a departure he cannot prevent. United are set to make a formal approach to Forest. So are City. The bidding war that both clubs wanted to avoid is happening regardless of their preferences. Forest staying in the Premier League without Champions League football sits them in the negotiating middle ground, not desperate sellers, not holding maximum leverage. Somewhere around £100 million is the expected number. The most important midfield transfer of the summer is coming. United and City will both go to the City ground. Whoever offers most and makes the most compelling project argument gets the player. Elsewhere, Marcus Rashford's future remains one of the biggest stories of the summer. Marcus Rashford is now prepared to sign a 5-year contract at Barcelona rather than the 3-year deal that had been agreed in principle. The extraordinary detail from Mundo Deportivo is that he was already committed to a deal involving a 40% reduction on his Old Trafford wages, and he is now tearing that up and extending the proposed contract length to 5 years to make the financial package more viable for Barcelona. The player is doing everything he can to make this permanent move happen. Barcelona's financial constraints remain the obstacle, but Rashford's willingness to extend his own commitment could be the creative solution that finally allows the deal to cross the line before the summer window closes. United's position remains unchanged. Full price, no more loans, no negotiated discount, £26 million, or the conversation does not happen. Whether Rashford's 5-year offer changes the Barcelona board's calculation about the total cost of the deal is the question that will determine this saga's resolution. And finally, United have officially confirmed Tyrell Malacia will leave the club at the end of the season when his contract expires. Tyrell Malacia departure confirmed officially. Club statement released. 49 appearances in 4 years. A career at United defined more by injury absence than by playing time. The left-back, who joined from Feyenoord in July 2022 as one of Erik ten Hag's first signings, leaves having never established himself as a reliable first-team option. His wages are saved, his squad number is freed, and the left-back position that was already being addressed in the transfer market has now had its vacancy formally confirmed. Tom Heaton signing a 1-year extension is one of the most quietly important pieces of squad management confirmed this week. 40 years old, not played competitively since February 2023, still setting high standards in training, still valued in the dressing room as a leader, and specifically identified as having taken Senna Lammens under his wing this season, mentoring the 23-year-old through his first Premier League campaign in a way that has contributed directly to the Belgian's transformation from struggling starter to one of the most improved goalkeepers in the division. Keeping Heaton for another year keeps that mentoring relationship intact for another crucial year of Lamens' development. Rio Ferdinand said Lamens could be United's goalkeeper for the next 10 years. Tom Heaton's presence gives him the experience guidance to make sure that potential is realised rather than squandered by a premature ending to the relationship that has produced such impressive results. The summer picture is now becoming the clearest and the most coherent it has been at any point in the planning process. Carrick confirmed as permanent manager. Bruno Fernandes record-breaking and staying. Mainoo signed to 2031. Casemiro and Malacia departing, Ugarte being sold, Højlund 38 million incoming from Napoli, Rashford permanent sale being pursued, Ederson personal terms agreed, Tonali and Anderson both viable at the right price. One final Premier League game remains. Brighton away on the final day. A free hit with Champions League already confirmed. A chance for Fernandes to push his assist record beyond 20. A chance for Sesko to add to his goal tally. A chance for the squad to end the season with the momentum and the confidence that pre-season and a Champions League opening campaign demands. So United fans, huge questions now heading into the summer. Should Manchester United spend big on Sandro Tonali? Would Elliot Anderson be the smarter signing? And do you believe Michael Carrick is the right man to lead the next era at Old Trafford? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to United Focus for all the latest Manchester United transfer news, breaking stories and daily updates throughout this massive summer window. Moving on. The Ederson update continues to move positively. Reports in Italy confirm that negotiations between Atalanta and Atletico Madrid have stalled, with the Spanish club unable or unwilling to meet the asking price. United are now said to be in negotiations with Atalanta directly over a deal structure of €45 million fixed fee plus 15 million in add-ons. That 60 million total package is at the top end of the range that had been discussed, but the add-on structure reduces the guaranteed outlay to a number United can comfortably absorb within the midfield budget. Personal terms previously agreed. Entourage has given the green light. England described as Ederson's dream destination. This deal wants to happen. United need to make it happen quickly before any other Premier League club recognises the opportunity that Atletico's withdrawal has created. And there is another interesting name emerging too. Morten Hjulmand of Sporting CP is an interesting addition to the midfield monitoring list, the Danish captain being tracked by United according to Court Offside with a potential fee of around £52 million. Arsenal are also mentioned as interested parties, which immediately raises the competitive dynamic. Hjulmand at 26 brings a different profile from Ederson, more technically creative and more comfortable in possession-based systems, which could make him the second of the three midfielders United are targeting rather than an alternative to Ederson. The combination of Ederson's defensive solidity, Hjulmand's technical quality and Mainoo's progressive energy would give United a midfield of genuine Champions League capability across every dimension the system requires. Bruno Fernandes has been named Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year and deserves every single vote that went his way. His response to the award was entirely and wonderfully Bruno, immediately talking about the two things he wants to achieve before his United career concludes. First, the assists record, one away from equaling Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry's 20 in a single Premier League season. The joint record that has stood for years, and that Fernandes is one assist away from matching tonight against Nottingham Forest or on the final day at Brighton. He said it would be an amazing achievement, but that he does not want to focus on it too much because the team's targets matter more. Classic Bruno. Publicly modest, privately driven. The second target he named was leading Manchester United to the Premier League title. Not the Champions League, not just top four. The league title. That ambition, stated publicly by the club captain in the week his permanent manager has been confirmed, is the clearest possible signal of where this club believes it is heading. This season they came back to the Champions League. Next season the target is higher. Fernandes is on the same ship as the fans, he said earlier in the season. He wants the ship to go forward. He wants it to navigate as much as they can. The football writers agreed he is the best player in England right now. The permanent manager has just been confirmed. The summer targets are being approached, and the captain wants to win the league. The Rashford situation at Barcelona has reopened, with The Independent reporting that the Catalan club are set to reopen negotiations with United over the £26 million option. Barcelona's restricted budget is the ongoing obstacle. United's preference for a permanent sale is the ongoing position. Another loan is described as still possible. That word possible is doing an enormous amount of work in that sentence because United have been clear for months that another loan is not acceptable. The gap between what Barcelona can afford and what United will accept has not closed despite weeks of back-channel discussion, and the opening of formal talks represents an attempt to find a creative structure that bridges that gap before the window opens and both clubs are forced to either commit or walk away. Rafael Leao at £43 to £51 million from AC Milan remains one of the most genuinely exciting attacking options being discussed in connection with United this summer. The Portuguese winger with directness, pace and the specific left-sided threat that Carrick identified as a priority position is available at a price that represents exceptional value for a player of his ability and his Champions League profile. United's scouting presence at his Milan matches this season has been confirmed. The relationship with the club through the Højlund and Ahmad deals gives existing goodwill to build on, and the potential swap deal involving Xerxes, Ugarte and Rashford as leverage, while complicated by Milan's preference for cash, suggests creative thinking about how to structure the acquisition without exhausting the midfield budget. Carrick confirmed as permanent manager, the summer approaching at remarkable speed. Win Sunday, finish at Brighton on the final day with a flourish. Let the transfer planning accelerate. Let Carrick's first full pre-season begin. The quiet revolution is permanent now. The summer of transformation starts the moment the Brighton whistle blows. Come on, United. Now to a name that has had the entire football world talking this week. Federico Valverde. According to Team Talk, Real Madrid are willing to sell the Uruguayan midfielder following a reported altercation with teammate Aurelien Tchouameni. It is understood that Manchester United are eager to sign him. But here is the reality check. Valverde is valued at over £100 million. That is not a small investment, that is a statement signing. The kind of move that tells the world Manchester United are serious again. Valverde is 27 years old, world-class, and capable of dominating games at the very highest level. Whether United can make the finances work remains to be seen, but the ambition is clearly there. And with Champions League football returning to Old Trafford, the pitch to a player like Valverde becomes far more convincing. Moving on to Matheus Fernandes. And there has been a significant development here. According to The Athletic, Paris Saint-Germain have now entered the race for the West Ham midfielder. That is a major complication for United. What makes this even more interesting is the latest stance from West Ham. It was previously thought that Fernandes would only be sold if the club were relegated, but The Athletic now reports that he is expected to leave regardless of whether West Ham survive in the Premier League. West Ham have placed a valuation of £84 million on the player. Bruno Fernandes is said to be supportive of the move, but with PSG now involved, United will need to act decisively if they want to win this one. Now a transfer story that United fans can put to bed. Eli Krupi Jr. of Bournemouth. The 19-year-old had emerged as a name of interest for United, but Bournemouth sporting director Thiago Pinto has made the club's position absolutely clear. He told reporters that Krupi will not be leaving the club, that his contract runs for more than 4 years, that there is no release clause, and that they would not sell him even if offers of €100 million arrived. That is about as definitive as it gets. United will need to look elsewhere for attacking reinforcements, but it does tell you something about the caliber of player United were identifying. High ceiling, young, hungry. That profile remains the target. Beyond the headline names, reports suggest United's broader transfer blueprint this summer is significant. United are targeting at least 5 midfield additions alone, including Anderson, Carlos Baleba, Matheus Fernandes and Adam Wharton alongside Ederson. A new left-back to challenge Luke Shaw is also on the agenda, a backup striker to support Benjamin Sesko, and an additional goalkeeper to provide cover for Senna Lamens. This is not tinkering around the edges, this is a full squad rebuild, and it needs to happen quickly. Having a permanent manager confirmed will be the catalyst for everything. Once Carrick is officially in place, United can move with real clarity and speed. And one more story before we wrap up. Manchester United and Adidas have officially dropped the new 2026/27 home kit today. The new strip will make its first appearance this weekend when United women wear it against Chelsea in the WSL. And it will get its Old Trafford debut on Sunday against Nottingham Forest in what will be Casemiro's final home game in a United shirt before he departs at the end of the season. A moment worth acknowledging for a player who gave everything for this club. Right. Let us talk Brighton away. Final day of the season. United go into this one full of confidence with nothing but pride and momentum to play for. Expect Carrick to rotate his squad sensibly. He will not want to risk key players ahead of what promises to be a very busy summer.